everyone. Morning. We got a full house. I want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, March the 5th, 2024 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're glad to have y'all in attendance, and those of you who are tuning in, thank you for spending time with us this morning. Before we get started, and we're going to have Commissioner Edmondson is going to lead us in our invocation, and I think that'd be great. Before we do, I just want to mention something about what's going on out in West Texas right now. And I hope y'all have been following that, what our fellow Texans have been going through. And this morning, before Commissioner Edmondson leads us in our invocation, I just want to mention that, our prayers go out to the families and friends of the two individuals who lost their lives and the many families and business owners who have lost everything to the ongoing fires across the panhandle of Texas. More than 1,900 square miles of rural land surrounding Amarillo and even into neighboring Oklahoma have wiped out communities, businesses, schools, ranches, and homes. We are grateful for the outpouring of assistance many across the great state have provided, and know it will continue in the weeks and months to come. Several Denton County firefighters and paramedics have been called in to assist, as well as our own Denton County Office of Emergency Management, where we have two individuals on site assisting with the coordination of efforts to contain these wildfires. And so please keep both those fighting the fires and those affected by the fires in your thoughts and prayers. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Commissioner Edmondson to lead us in our invocation this morning. I want to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones when we call it.
Good morning. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, first of all, I ask your blessings and protection for all of our military personnel and also our first responders, especially those in West Texas. Thank you for those who are teachers, caregivers, and those who need care. Please bless and protect them too. Thank you for this day that you have made so beautiful and appealing for us to get out today and vote. We thank you, Father, for your divine guidance more than 200 years ago, as you inspired our forefathers into founding our amazing United States. We know, Father, that all who are in roles of governing are put there by you for such a time as this. These are volatile times, Lord. Help us through them. And let us seek, Father, to be peacemakers rather than those who contribute to the chaos. So, Father, as we citizens vote today, let us seek your guidance. And when we learn the results of today's voting, let us recall that you have put these various people into these various positions of authority, and let us gratefully accept the results, whichever way they go, and let us come together as Americans, as Texans. Please give this Commissioner's Court your blessings, and show each of us how best to serve the citizens of Denton County. Thank you for allowing us to live in this time, in this county, and in this country. We ask for your continued protection in the blessed name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
What did I mention? Who's doing the? And Michael Dumas, our Assistant Fire Marshal, is going to lead us in our pledges. Thank you, Michael, for being here.
Sir. Good morning. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We're resting. Okay. All right, I'd like to go to item 1 for public input for items not listed on the agenda. We have 2 registered speakers today. Our first is Mr. Willie Hudspeth.
Morning,
Good morning,
Judge
sir.
and Commissioners. My name is Willie Hudspeth. I live at 623 Newton. Street. I didn't get to finish what I was trying to say yesterday. I was attempting to communicate to you in a way where you knew how much and why it means so much to me to have the former slave cemetery upkept and to allow us access to us, meaning the individuals, any individual to have access to that cemetery for upkeep, helping with the upkeep, and just having a quiet time with those individuals that were buried there and seemed like they were forgotten. And I thought that the example I was attempting to give to let you see why I feel so passionate about that cemetery, but again, I didn't get a chance to finish that. And what I realized after leaving is that you don't have that same, might not have that same feeling about the cemetery. And for different reasons, and I don't know what those are, and I assume they're okay. So I'm not dealing with that today. But I would like to address my main concerns again. The free access to the cemetery, and some way of allowing us to remember what those individuals went through. They were slaves, and they came to Pilot Point to find a way of making a living, to earn money for the first time for many of them, and to build homes. And they accomplished that. But then something happened that they had to leave very quickly from that, where they were and what they accomplished. And they seem to have been forgotten. And I don't want that to happen. So I was trying to let you know what I'm experiencing in that effort up there. And as I was beginning to explain to you, I was 17 years old when I was drafted in the military. For those of you who don't know what that means, drafted, you're selected and you must serve. And if you don't go and serve is another word of saying fight or bear arms and try to stop another individual from living.
Mr. Hudspeth, go ahead and finish your thought. Your 3 minutes is up, but go ahead and finish your thought, please, sir.
Okay, so then if you don't go, then you will go to prison. So I went, and I'll have to finish the rest of it the next time.
Yes, sir. Good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next registered speaker for item 1 is Chelsea Stallings. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. My name is Chelsea Stallings. I live in Denton, Texas, 76201. I am with Mr. Hudspeth here this morning. I'm just going to reiterate what he is asking. We are asking to have an agenda item for public access to the St. John Cemetery up in Pilot Point. We stay and remain interested in understanding what these people's lived experiences were as they were building their lives and their families and their futures in the generations and decades outside of enslavement. So we are, again, just asking for this to be an agenda item so that we can have a public back and forth discussion. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, our next registered speaker is Stephen Dillenberg. All right, let me
Give me just a second here. Whoops. All right. Good morning.
Morning.
My name's Stephen Dillenberg, 1004 Abbott's Lane, Denton. I don't know if any of y'all know who Sybil Ludington is. Let me make sure that's right. Paula Revere is what I like to call her. This is something that's not taught to us in school, but maybe something that some Texans might find interesting. This is one of the, so I went back and I pulled my mom's Daughters of the American Revolution paperwork for y'all. So that's this. Going back to 1640, my family has defended this country.
Great.
And we continue to this day, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, like attorneys ad litem. This is what oaths to the Constitution look like. I haven't seen them from y'all, and I requested them in excess of a year ago now. Sybil Ludington. Paul Revere was not the only patriot who rode by night to warn of peril. Sybil Ludington, when but 16, is reported to have ridden 40 miles to muster the militia commanded by her father, Colonel Henry Ludington. This thus alerted, the militia formed to fight the British returning from the sack of Danbury, Connecticut in 1777. The British lost a tenth of their forces to the militiamen and were forced to retreat to the safety of ships at Fairfield. I'll get you guys a copy of this DAR stuff. It's my grandmother. That's Myrtle Wright Vandervoort's daughter. Just real quick. I was curious because I was looking at the policies for addressing y'all, and it says that y'all are both an executive and a legislative body. And I would like to know where, Judge, so obviously you've got some judicial authority there too, where in the Constitution does it grant y'all the power to exercise conflicting authorities? Because we have 3 branches of government in Texas. Am I correct in that assumption, Judge?
Go ahead and complete your thoughts.
I'm asking you a question, sir.
This is for your opportunity to speak to the public. We're not answering your questions, but go ahead and proceed.
You can't make a statement of policy, statement of fact?
Go ahead and finish your thoughts.
I think the code says that you can make a statement of policy or fact, sir.
Go ahead and complete your thoughts.
This is the problem, guys, right here. We have people that just won't engage in stuff that's very important. I think the cure for cancer is being hidden. That's pretty much fact at this point, and these people won't engage in the conversation. I think that COVID is a lot different than we were told. My mother had a stroke 5 days after receiving dose 1 of Pfizer's poison. You can listen to my conversation with Matt Richardson at tinyurl.com/phuckpfizer.
Thank you for being here. Your time is up.
It's amazing. Amazing.
It is. All right.
Sits up there with a smile.
Members, next let's go to
Fair enough. I've made requests via email, and I'll do it again today.
Thank you.
perfect. Thank you. All right, next let's go to item 3A, which is approval of a proclamation recognizing Developmental Disabilities Inclusion Month. And we do have Pam Gutierrez with our Denton County MHMR, and I believe she's got some special guests with her as well. Pam, do you want to introduce our guests before we read the proclamation?
Yes, I've asked several of our board members to come up. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you so much for having us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Perfect, good, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Diane Hickey, and I'm proud to say I am the chairperson for the Denton County MHMR. And we thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Yates. I'm Jack Phillips. It's good seeing you.
Good to see
Pleasure.
you again.
Thank you for all you guys do. We certainly appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I'm Leah Strittmatter, one of the newest board members.
Hello.
Good morning. I'm Isabel Hernandez, and I'm so pleased to be here.
You look familiar.
Yeah.
All right,
And
very
Judge,
good.
I have multitude of staff with me. Some of these staff are on the mental health side and some are on the IDD side, individuals with developmental disabilities. I don't know if you have time for me to introduce all
Sure,
of
I'd
our
love
staff.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle Conrad, if you could step up.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Conrad. I'm the CFO.
Good to see you.
Fonnie Wright, COO.
Thank you for being here.
Dr. Mina Villas, Chief Medical Officer.
Good to see you.
Rich Wright, CTO.
All right.
Dallas Hamilton, Senior Director of Crisis Services.
Very good.
Veronica Armanzares, Senior Director of Quality Management and Utilization Management.
Great.
Nessa Reed, Director of Community Integration Services.
I'm Jess Pham. I am Senior Director of Behavioral Health Services.
Erin Posey, CHRO.
Jordan Clifton, Lost Team Coordinator.
All right. Love the lost team.
Kayla Lusk, IDD Rights Protection Officer.
Hey, my name's Mun. I am the Training and Development Manager.
Great.
I am Miranda Griffin, Program Assistant for Mental Health and Crisis Services.
Perfect. Good.
So you can see they have a lot of passion, and we are so appreciative of you all because you all speak for individuals that have no voice at all.
That's right.
And so we're very grateful for the commissioners and judge
Thank
for
you.
honoring us today.
Thank you. All right, I'll read this proclamation on behalf of the court. This is a court proclamation regarding Developmental Disabilities Inclusion Month. And whereas individuals with developmental disabilities are valued, contributing members of our community, and whereas collaboration, education, employment, and home and community-based services are vital to enable people with developmental disabilities to achieve a self-determined and valued lifestyle. And whereas with appropriate support, all people can be productive, engaging, and contributing members of the community. And whereas individuals, families, organizations, and advocates in our community are committed to supporting and empowering people with developmental disabilities as may be needed to live a life like other citizens of Denton County. And whereas Texas communities thrive when inclusion becomes a way of life. Each year, we dedicate the month of March in raising awareness about developmental disabilities and emphasizing the importance of including people of all abilities in every aspect of our lives. And whereas during this month, Texans can raise awareness about how classrooms, workplaces, houses of worship, and communities are more vital when they include people of all abilities. And whereas at this time, we encourage Texans to come together to increase awareness about developmental disabilities and support full inclusion and equality for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim March 2024 as Developmental Disabilities Inclusion Month and encourage all residents to recognize the tremendous value and potential of people with developmental disabilities and include them in all aspects of community life. Done in open court, this is the 5th day of March 2024 upon a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell. Second by Commissioner Falconer. Well, Pam and your whole team, I just want to thank y'all for being here. It's always great to have y'all in the courthouse, and I think it's just a visual demonstration of our partnership that we work on 365 days a year on a continuing basis. And so I want to thank y'all for all that you do. And you two are voices for people of all levels of ability. So thank y'all. Does anyone have anything to add?
Thank you for the work that you do here in Denton County. There are so many people here that need your services, and we don't know all the people that are here, but you are reaching out and helping people, and that's what we need to do in Denton County. Every member, every person on this earth are valuable people. We may have disabilities. As we look around the room and look at myself, I may have a disability. But the people that really need help, you're helping. Keep up the good work, and please know that the Commissioners Court are here. Those are our people. You are our people, and that's what we're supposed to do, to make Denton County a better place. And it starts with people like you all that are reaching out to other people. All of us are different in some kind of way, but we're all God's children. And so we need to make sure that we take care of our own, and you all are doing that in Denton County. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bobby.
Did you want to say something?
Sure. So, yes, thank you for what you do. What I've learned so much in my short time as a commissioner, and then also prior to that, but just how important the things are that you do. These are people who don't have a voice, and you all step up for them, and we appreciate what you do so much. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd also like to second everything that my colleagues have said. It's amazing to me how many people need your help and how few people really know that you're there to help. So we hope to begin a line of communication with our constituents that will make them more aware of the good that you can do. Thanks for everything. Really appreciate you all.
That's a great point, Diane. Pam, if someone needs to reach out to MHMR, what's y'all's phone number so we can?
1-800, this is the hotline number.
The hotline, yes, hotline.
1-800-762-0157, and then there's always 988, which is a very important number.
Okay.
Came on, yes.
Perfect, great. Yes.
No, thank you so much for what you folks do.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, we have a motion and a second. Did you want to add anything else, Pam? You're good?
No, thank you
All
so
right, We have a
much.
motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, why don't we do a picture here, and y'all all squeeze up front here.
Ma'am, good to see you. Yes, ma'am. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, let's do it here.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think we're going to do it from up here.
Holly? Yes, ma'am. No, thank you. Holly? Oh, thank you, yes. I think the picture's up here. I don't want to feel like, we're.
Is orange, are y'all wearing orange
Thank
rings?
you,
Is
sir.
that the money? Well, fiddlesticks. I would have worn orange. Yeah, this is. All right, Pam.
Oh, from the.
Is this the orange that we do?
Yeah, it's like, you wear that, right?
I gotta wear an orange tie next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it on my agenda.
Yeah.
Their color is orange, and I said, I gotta wear orange.
Yeah, I didn't remember, or I don't want to tie or something.
I think I've got the little ribbon.
Yeah, we have
I forgot that.
from last year.
Hold on.
Slide this way, guys, just a little bit.
Okay, everyone look, Dawn is straight ahead. We'll take a picture with Dawn first, and then we'll look up and get one with Eric. Okay, so I think Dawn's got somebody's camera. Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right, let's look up for Eric. Hello. Very good. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
I just felt off because I didn't have it. God forbid.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And we were talking this.
Here it is.
Thank you all.
so much.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is what I have from last year.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask.
I have them on. I have a little spot with them all.
Yeah.
So I'll take them and put them on, but I forgot about this one.
That's why,
I totally forgot. I know, remembering those things.
just say, hey, if you want to coordinate anything, this week it's one of them.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I don't know who
So,
asked for doing that.
maybe one of our own staff. Well, actually,
Hey, do the mission.
yeah. That one.
Oh, okay.
Might give me the, I always forget.
All right. Next, let's go to item 3B, which is approval of a proclamation recognizing March as American Red Cross Month. And who do we have from our Red Cross here? I know we had some people here. Our Red Cross. Good morning. The Red Cross is in the house. I feel better already. Do y'all want to introduce yourself? Thank y'all for being here.
Sure, go ahead, Grace. First, ladies first.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, everyone in the room. I'm Grace Ramazani. I am one of the disaster program managers for the Tarrant County, Cook County, and Denton County.
Okay.
And yeah, next.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to the Commissioners. My name is Michael Barber. I'm a volunteer disaster supervisor with the Red Cross for those counties that Grace mentioned.
Good. Thank you, Michael. Thank y'all for being here. Do we want to acknowledge our our friend with us?
I'm just the camera guy.
I don't think you're just the camera guy.
No, that's Mark, the camera guy,
Oh,
not
all right,
just
good.
a camera guy.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have y'all here. I'll read this proclamation. This is a court proclamation recognizing March as American Red Cross Month. And whereas every March, the American Red Cross recognizes the compassion of people across the nation and celebrates their commitment to care for one another in times of crisis. This annual tradition has taken place since 1943, when President Franklin Delano Roosevelt issued the first Red Cross Month proclamation. Kind-hearted volunteers in Denton County and throughout the Red Cross DFW Metro West Chapter step up and provide a beacon of hope for our neighbors here in North Texas. And whereas last year alone, the DFW Metro West Chapter assisted 666 families while responding to more than 425 disasters to deliver shelter, food, and comfort. And whereas 504 blood drives were held by Red Cross blood hosts in 2023, collecting more than 11,000 units of blood across multiple counties to ensure new moms, cancer patients, and accident victims had access to safe, life-saving blood. And whereas in 2023, the Red Cross proudly supported more than 2,300 North Texan military members, veterans, and their families and caregivers to cope with the challenges of service. Whereas 18,703 people were enrolled in Red Cross First Aid, CPR, and AED training courses, helping to make the DFW Metro West Chapter more resilient in the event of a disaster. And whereas 1,472 North Texas Red Cross volunteers, the lifeblood of Red Cross, responded to the call to provide relief to families who experienced the worst days of their lives. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the month of March as American Red Cross Month. We call upon all citizens to reach out and support the humanitarian mission of the American Red Cross. Done in open court this the 5th day of March, 2024, upon a motion by the chair.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Well, I think it's very appropriate y'all are here today because we also have our emergency management team here. You know, we're going to be doing Weather Awareness Week here in just a moment. And I say that because y'all are such partners of ours. You know, you're partners of ours, and y'all love our residents. You take care of our residents, and not only in a staff position, but leveraging the thousands of volunteers which y'all do. Y'all train, and so we congratulate you and want to say thank you and encourage all residents to say thank you and to volunteer with the Red Cross. Anyone have anything else to say?
Yeah, Judge, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I want to say one of the most invaluable things you guys offer is the blood drives. You know, we're having one of the largest shortages ever, and it's so imperative that we get that out there and that people understand that we do need that blood. I give all the time, and it's a necessity, unfortunately, but it's what we need to do. And so thank you so much for that as well.
Thank you for donating.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all. Commissioner Mitchell.
I want to thank you for the work that you do. Red Cross has been around longer than I have, and that's a long time. No comments, court. And I just want to thank you. And it got personal 2 weeks ago because a friend of mine's brother apartment burned, and he lost everything. And Red Cross was there to help him. She lives in Louisville, and he lives in another city. And she was asking for clothes. Did he get any clothes? And Red Cross stepped up. So I just want to thank you for all that you do, all the volunteers that get out and work and make things better when you have a disaster. I hope I never need you, but if I do, I'm glad you're there for us.
Glad to know they're there. That's right. That's right. Well, good. Okay, well, any other comments? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
We're gonna come down and get a picture with you guys real quick. Hop in wherever you can.
Get a couple more right here. Sorry about that.
Thank you again, folks.
Okay. Speaking of emergency management, Mark, if y'all's group wants to come up. Next, we have item 3C, which is approval of a proclamation recognizing the week of March the 4th through the 8th, 2024 as Severe Weather Awareness Week. And I have Mark Boland, and he's one of our assistant, what is your exact title, Mark? I can't remember.
Assistant Coordinator.
Assistant Coordinator for Emergency Management. And Eric Hutmacher and Samantha are out actually representing us and helping the Texas Department of Emergency Management out in West Texas. So locally, we're led by Mark here, and he's doing a great job this week. So, Mark, did you want to add anything before we read this proclamation?
If you don't mind.
Sure.
I don't want to ruin your Super Tuesday, but, I'm here to talk about the weather. So, the old saying is that spring comes in like a lion, leaves like a lamb, but in Texas, it comes in like a lion, and it leaves like a bitter, angry lion that's been pelted by hailstone for months. So we come into severe weather awareness week, and I was trying to think of a way to kind of highlight some of the hazards that we might face over the coming months. And being Texans, we understand that everything is on the table when it comes to severe weather. Hail, thunderstorms, tornadoes, flooding, and all of that. And so one of the ways that I thought I'd highlight this is I'd take a look at just what we experienced last year. So from the period from the 1st of March to the end of May, we had 2 full emergency operations center activations, and we had 10 partial activations over that 3-month period. And that was brought about by 3 tornado watches, multiple severe thunderstorm watches, which later manifested into 19 severe thunderstorm warnings. And there was one thunderstorm that came through exactly a year ago this week. And actually, Judge Eads and his son Everett joined us in the EOC for this. And it kind of gives you an idea of the flavor of what we can face over the course of the next few months. There was no major damage from hail in the storm, but there was localized flooding. There was ponding on the roadways. But the main damage from this storm was straight line winds. And I don't know if y'all remember or not, but the main still of the damage was from the marina in Louisville.
Yeah.
And so out there they experienced 80 to 90 mile an hour straight line winds. It tore the piers apart, pulled up pilings, destroyed numerous boats, And the damage was estimated at the time to exceed $45 million and would take 2 to 3 years for complete restoration of services to the marina. And that's just one example of the storms that we faced last year. And again, it was exactly 1 year ago this week.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is it that we can do to prepare for severe weather? And the way that we look at it is information is probably the most important step. And there are so many different avenues for us to get information for severe storms. Television news, radios, weather radios, mass alerts, whether through iPhones or Androids. And then the second thing that we really like to emphasize is just know what to do. Leave the eyewitness weather to the storm chasers. Seek shelter in the storms, and for tornadoes, pick a small, know where to go in your house, small windowless room, a closet, a bathroom, and take in blankets and maybe a sleeping bag or even a mattress for extra protection if it looks like it's going to be that dangerous. So anyway, Judge Eads, commissioners wanted to thank you for the opportunity to address this very important issue.
Perfect, thank you. I'll go ahead and thank you, Mark. That was a great outline of some of the things that happened throughout the year, actually. So this is a court proclamation regarding Severe Weather Awareness Week, where storms can strike at any time of the year. The months of March, April, and May have the greatest potential for violent weather events, and whereas severe thunderstorms that bring damaging winds, lightning, hail, flash floods, and tornadoes frequent the spring across the Denton County landscape and have often brought risk to lives and property. And property of all Denton County residents are this court's utmost concern. And whereas as a community, Denton County can proactively work together to ensure the safety and property of our people. And whereas between 1955 and 2024, there were 51 reported tornadoes within Denton County. And whereas under the coordination of the National Weather Service with the strong support of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, a number of local and volunteer agencies will be informing and educating the public on steps that can be taken to survive the severe weather hazards and the potential disasters that spring may bring. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the week of March the 4th through the 8th, 2024, as Severe Weather Awareness Week in Denton County. And we call upon all citizens to designate a safe place for family members to meet in the case of an evacuation, decide how to maintain communication with loved ones, and put together a preparedness kit of important documents and supplies. Most importantly, heed warnings and instructions issued by local, county, and state officials and emergency management personnel. And we encourage all residents to remain mindful of the dangers presented by severe storms, stay informed of current weather conditions, and take precautions to prevent loss of life and property. Done in open court, this is the 5th day of March, 2024, upon a motion made by?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? When is the emergency preparedness fair that's going to be held this spring? Which one of y'all can remember that date? Do you remember that date?
In September.
Oh, is it in September? Is it September? Okay, that's a fun event, and we hosted it here, so we're going to have it later this fall. Couldn't remember when it was. Okay, well, we will advertise that abundantly. Yes, sir.
Could I give a shout out to our road and bridge crews? Because when emergency weather comes, they have to go out and close certain roads, low water crossings, bridges, etc., so that the rest of us don't have to worry about that. And I want to just tell them thank you too.
Absolutely. Our road and bridge and public works, they're a key part of all of our emergency response efforts. So yes, thank you. Absolutely. Any other comments?
I'd
Yes,
just
ma'am.
like to thank you again. One of the most important things that we can do other than prepare is let people know how to prepare and let them know what to do. There's so many people, that don't know what to do during a storm. Some people, not myself, want to run out and see it. Myself, I'm hiding. But, letting people know that this is what's going to happen and what they can do to help themselves. I appreciate all the information that you all give us. Please continue to send the emails and texts and all that you do to let us know what's happening and when it's coming. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys, the work you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a 24/7 operation at times, so anyway. All right, hearing no other comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank y'all, and we'll come back.
They can be crazy, man. I get some of that really crazy wind.
All right. Let's just go back to item 2. Are there any items you would like to pull off the consent agenda, or do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, which is approval of the order making appointments. Item 2B is approval of the interdepartmental transfers. Item 2C is approval of budget amendment request 100880 for the Public Health Department Clinical Division to transfer $3,700 from vaccines with $1,200 to administrative equipment and $2,500 to technology equipment to fund updated computer equipment and supplies for doctors and staff. Item 2D is approval of budget amendment request 100920 for the Juvenile Probation Department to transfer $4,632 from hospitality supplies to administrative supplies from various budgets to cover the cost of supplies to host the 2024 Chiefs Summit. Item 2E is approval of budget amendment request 100930 for the Sheriff's Administration Department to transfer $6,588 from administrative supplies to administrative equipment to cover the cost of a garage door and an entry door for the storage building at the gun range. All right, next let's go to item 5A is approval of bill reports. This is payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT interest, and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have one addition today to Citibank for $219,017.34.
Perfect. All right, do we have a motion to approve the bill report as amended? Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approval to contract with Gomez Floor Covering Incorporated for the installation of new carpet and flooring at the Copeland Government Center in the amount of $81,184.91 through the Buy Board Cooperative Contract 642-21. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6B, approval of the purchase of 3 Merck Mini Camera trailers from Comprehensive Communication Services for the Buy Board Cooperative Contract 71423 in the amount of $149,040.60. And any appropriate action?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6C, approval exemption from bidding for juvenile detention structural analysis and remodel at the Charlie Cullis Professional Service according to provisions of Chapter 262.024A4 of the Local Government Code and declaring BKV Group as the most qualified architecture firm.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6D, approval exemption from bidding for the repairs of the mobile operations center vehicle according to provisions of the Chapter 262.024A11 of the Local Government Code and any appropriate action.
Move to approve, and I have a comment too.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer. The chair will second.
Okay, Tom?
Go ahead, yes.
Oh, thanks, Judge. So, first of all, I want to thank you all. I asked to pull this a couple of weeks ago, and Eric and I have talked extensively through this, and I'm sure you saw his backup that was in our information, but I just wanted to make sure that when we're spending money on our equipment, buildings, and all of that, that we are doing it in the best way possible, and I think he's got a great strategic plan. I think that it would still be good. He's done a fair amount of work on kind of where he sees things going with some of this kind of equipment. And when he's back, because he's obviously out in the panhandle.
Yes.
And when he's back, if we could give him a few minutes just to kind of go through some of the stuff that he's put together and that we've talked about. But I think that Goliath has got a long life still, and that was really what I just want to make sure that we're spending money in the right way.
Perfect, great, thank you. All right, we have a motion, a second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Commissioners. Next is 6E, approval of specifications and authority to advertise for ITB 242799 key control systems, system products, software, and services. Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6F, approval of specifications, authority to advertise for CSP 232796 HVAC equipment replacement and appointment evaluation committee to include Chris Landsey, construction coordinator, public facilities, Scott Morris, maintenance repair specialist 2, public facilities, and Eddie Meha, maintenance repair specialist 1, public facilities, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? Commissioner Mitchell.
I was discussing this with Scott earlier about the estimated time for the construction on these HVAC systems. And if you look at your backup on page 153, it talk about the number of days. And is Dale here?
Yes, he is.
I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. I have a problem with the amount of time, 270 days to repair something, and I don't know it all, so I need the experts to tell me why it's taking it so long. And if you want to do it next week, you can, but I just need to
Sure, we
find
can
out why
gather
it's taking so
information
long.
and bring it next week.
Okay.
But the main source of it is it's very invasive, and we're adding new units, and there's going to be a lot of ductwork, new ductwork installed in the building. A lot of that cannot be done during business hours due to the public and the employees in the building. So after hours and weekends is a lot of this project, which takes up a lot of time.
Okay,
But I can gather more information for you and come back next week.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just add on that? So when you are doing those after hours, it's not just that you don't have that same normal timing. You basically are having to tear down, clean up in that
Correct.
short time, and it really does often
mobilize.
take a tremendous amount more time than if you just were doing an empty building.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And we will, obviously, when we go out to bid, we get a contractor, we're going to try to reduce that as much as we can as
Okay.
well, work with them to shorten the length of that time, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
I would like to have an offline conversation about that well, because maybe there's some office hours that could be flexed.
Yeah,
And
that'd be-
I don't know if that's been
Okay.
fully,
Yeah, we'll go ahead and approve it. I'm okay to.
we can
We already
approve it,
have a
let's prove it
motion.
today, and then we can
Yeah.
talk for a
I think
second. So
that's a
we
good-
do have a motion
Yeah.
and a second.
Yes.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you for the question, Commissioner.
Yes.
7A is approval of budget amendment request 100890 for human resources to increase revenue and allocate expenditures to the United Healthcare Wellness Reimbursement Department, amount of $4,000 for hospitality supplies and $11,000 for employee programs, for a total of $15,000. United Healthcare is reimbursing Denton County for expenses associated with the wellness program. Chair will move for approval. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7B, approval of budget amendment request 100900 for the Records Management Department to transfer $28,478 from contract labor to technology software services to fund digitization of human resource records into the Laserfish Records Repository and any appropriate action.
Approved.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7C, approval of budget amendment request 100910 for the Public Facilities Department to transfer $8,663 from Facilities Management, Horticulture, Irrigation to Technology, Software and Services to cover the cost of fleet tracking and building security software, and $3,015 from the Carroll Building Gas Service to Denton County Storage Building Gas Service to cover the cost of gas service, for a total of $11,678.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 8A. This is a report from Human Resource regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Gustavo. Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one lateral transfer in County Criminal Court number 2, one new hire in juvenile probation, 3 new hires in the sheriff's office, 1 rehire in the sheriff's office, and 3 of those are detention officer ones.
Right.
Thank you, Gustavo. This is presented for recording purposes only. Next, let's go to item 8B. This is approval of proposed revisions to attachment A, Denton County Civil Service Rules, excluded positions, any appropriate action. Members, you do have a revised list there. Do we have any comments or do we have a motion?
I move for approval.
The motion by,
Second.
motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Next is 10A, approval of the Rushing Addition Final Plat. This is lots 1 and 2, Block A. This is 37.13 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10B, approval of the request to hold a public hearing on April the 9th, 2024 at 9 a.m. for the Cedar Top replat. This is lots 1R1 and 1R2. This is 4.565 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13A, approval of the completion of continuing education hours by Commissioner Bobby J. Mitchell for the calendar year 2023 as required by Section 81.0025 of the Texas Local Government Code, and any appropriate action.
Move. Second.
Motion by
Finally.
Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion?
I want to see them.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13B, approval of resolution concerning border security and any appropriate action. Ma'am, can you get that out here?
You got it?
Ma'am?
So you have it?
I have it.
Okay.
I mean, need a drink here. I had to put that cough drop in so I could,
Can make it through
so I can get through the rest of this agenda. So, anyway, this morning, members, we have a resolution here related to our border security. This is something that's been a great topic here nationally and across the state of Texas and here in Denton County over the last several years. And this is a resolution expressing our support of the state of Texas and their efforts to increase border security. So this is a resolution supporting measures to secure the border to protect our communities. And the Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 5th day of March, 2024, considered the following resolution. And where securing the international border is the federal government's responsibility, and by refusing to enforce the immigration laws enacted by Congress, the federal government has been derelict in their duties to secure our border. And whereas Governor Greg Abbott, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Texas National Guard, and county and local law enforcement officers are using legal authority vested by the Texas Constitution and guaranteed by the United States Constitution to secure the border, stop the cartel smugglings of people, drugs, and weapons into Texas, and prevent, detect, and interdict transnational criminal activity between ports of entry. And whereas the Texas legislature has allocated over $11.5 billion to fund Governor Abbott's border security mission, Operation Lone Star. Since its launch in March of 2021, the multi-agency effort has led to over 498,300 illegal immigrant apprehensions and more than 39,200 criminal arrests, with more than 35,400 felony charges. In the fight against the fentanyl crisis, Texas law enforcement has seized over 458 million lethal doses of fentanyl, more than enough to kill every man, woman, and child in the United States. Whereas the officials of nearly 100 counties in Texas have issued disaster declarations or declared an invasion, or both, and expressed support of Operation Lone Star to secure the border against foreign terrorist organizations and non-state actors and secure Texas sovereignty. And whereas the ongoing border crisis is not acceptable, resulting in a national security threat and humanitarian disaster with overwhelming consequences to the people of Texas. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Denton County Commissioners Court Number 1 recognizes our southern Texas border is suffering an invasion which poses imminent danger. 2, stands in full support of Governor Abbott, our Texas legislative delegation, and the state-led efforts of Operation Lone Star to defend Texas's sovereignty and secure the Texas border. And 3, calls upon the federal government to uphold its duties to adequately secure and protect the borders of the United States. Done in open court this the 5th day of March, 2024, upon a motion by the chair, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Judge, if you don't mind.
Commissioner Williams.
This is just one of the, there's a few topics here, obviously, to point out. One that I think is imperative for the citizens to realize for us, and I'll handle this one, is the human trafficking impacts for Denton County. Denton County Commissioners Court is committed to addressing the ongoing issues of human trafficking with available resources to fight back and prevent this from becoming more of a continued growth epidemic. At any given time in Texas, there are over 200,000 victims of labor trafficking and over 70,000 victims of minor sex trafficking. To combat these statistics, the Denton County Commissioners Court previously implemented a human trafficking investigation unit as part of the Denton County Sheriff's Office. It is mobilized to fight human trafficking. I think that's a very important part of what the Commissioners Court implemented a few years back to show that we're trying to get ahead of this and not be behind. And unfortunately, it takes not just our county, but every county in between here and the border. And hopefully we can get the government, not the state, but the federal government to realize how important this is and step in and start doing a little bit more to help Texas. But from what I can tell and what it looks like, Governor Abbott is not going to wait, and we're going to spend the money necessary of all this, billions of dollars in reserve that we have to protect the border. So thank you for this. And by the way, I want to give props to Ms. Hambrick. She's the one that kind of put that together there, what I just read, and I appreciate her doing that. Obviously, it makes me sound a little more educated than I am.
You're
Commissioner,
educated.
Could I make one little correction on what you said? We're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about minor sex trafficking. That doesn't mean that it's a
No, it's
minor
not.
violation of
Yeah,
sex.
it's minor in age.
It's minors who are being sex trafficked.
That is correct. That is correct. Nope. Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Falconer.
Thank you. So this is a major problem we have in our country. And, a couple of years ago when I was running for this office, border security was one of my points. And I had some people who would ask, like, why are you're running for county commissioner? Why do you have that? And I said, if you talk to our sheriff, the thing he talks about most right now is all of the issues that are happening. We sit right here with I-35 through our county, and it is a direct line down to the border. And we are seeing, and it's been a bit of a wave that we didn't see at first when the border was first opened, if you will, but we see it now. And one of those is, as we just said, there's human trafficking. One of those is fentanyl, and even here in Denton County, in Carrollton, we lost 3 young people to fentanyl that was brought across illegally across the border. It is a crisis, and it's something that we have to do something about, and it affects the entire nation, but we see it every bit. We see that happening right here in our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Edmondson.
Thank you, Judge. We talked about supporting Governor Abbott and our Texas legislative delegation. I'd like to point out that the governor has been in Denton County several times this year, and this is what he's pushing, is what our legislators are doing and helping him to try to shut down as much as possible this border that is really wide open at this point in time, thanks to our president. So I really appreciate the fact that we passed this to let our elected officials know we watch, we see what they're doing, and we appreciate what they're doing in this.
Exactly.
Judge, I just want to
Commissioner Mitchell.
add our police officers and public safety people that's taking a toll on them, trying to make sure that our county is safe and also our state is safe and the nation is safe. It's taking a toll on police officers, and with 27% of the budget that we're using on our public safety, I think we have to be aware of what's going on, and we have to take a stand on making sure that we keep Denton County safe first, and then all the other counties around. So I think we're being responsible in passing this resolution, and I assume it's going to pass, to make sure that we're doing all we can in Denton County to make a difference in all the things that we're talking about, the traffic and the drugs and all that's coming on. So I'm certainly in favor of this resolution, and thanking the lady that brought it to us.
Melinda.
And Commissioner,
Melinda, we thank you so much.
Commissioner, to add to that, I think it's imperative that people realize that's why we gave the large increase that we recently did to our public safety. We are supporters of that, unlike some of the other cities and counties around the state, but I think it's imperative that citizens realize how important that is to us. And we don't just say it, we back it by making sure financially that they're taken care of. So, great point. Thank you, Judge.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, I'm glad we're doing this today, and I believe it's just kind of documenting what, in a formal way, what we've all believed all along, and what we at the county have invested resources to address this issue here locally. The border crisis first came home to me probably, 10 or 12 years ago. I'm on lots of nonprofit boards, and we were talking about issues with our children in the schools, and that were coming over, and frankly, the sexual assault of these girls when they come through the border, and and the high percentage, the likeliness of that happening. And I was sitting in this board meeting one night, and we were talking to the staff the caseworkers who deal with these children, and we're like, the whole room was just taken back by that. And I will always remember that night and having a deep sense of appreciation for those caseworkers. They're not government employees, caseworkers from a nonprofit who were working to address that in a loving and human, with a sense of human compassion, which I think is abundantly necessary. But as these minors are brought here and oftentimes assaulted, oftentimes trafficked, I believe that if you listen to Bob Williams talk, he'll say that the human trafficking is a bigger industry than the drug industry in the U.S. and worldwide. And so much of that is coming across our border. And so I think that is today, and I'm glad we're doing this. This is a way, thank you, Melinda, for bringing this to our attention. And it's just a way to memorialize this court's opinion during this time in the life of our history and the life of the world, what we're dealing with. And when you think about $11.5 billion of Texas taxpayers' money spent on this, I'm glad the state is making those investments. But just imagine if they weren't having to invest $11 billion on this one issue, what they could do for teachers, what they could do for classrooms, what they could do for the roads that we're building here in the county, homeless issues. I mean, think of all the TxDOT partnerships that we're doing, local dollars with TxDOT, that could be supporting TxDOT. and reducing our tax burden here. And so when you think about 11, in addition to the lives, and let's start with the lives that are impacted, absolutely. And then you go to the financial impact that impacts our classrooms, that impacts our roads, that impacts our state parks, that impacts everything in the state of Texas that we touch. The mental health. Think of our mental health professionals. If we weren't spending $11 billion on the border, if we were spending $11 billion on our mental health. You know, I passed two people this morning on the way to this courthouse having very thoughtful conversations with somebody all by themselves on the side of the road with a cardboard sign carrying on. And I thought, and I knew we had this proclamation, this resolution on the court this morning, and I thought, what if $11 million was treating those two residents here and not going to the border? How this would be a better county. And so I'm glad that we're supportive of this resolution. There's human lives at risk, and obviously financial impacts here locally, and public safety, as you've seen across the U.S. about public safety. And so I think this is important, and we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And thank you, Brooke, for your research
Yes.
related to this topic. It was important before we do something that we wanted to do our thoughtful research on that. So
Judge, we have
go ahead, Commissioner.
a DPS officer in our Rotary Club that has been gone for months down at the border.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
They're having to rotate.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's go to 14A. 14A is approval of a mutual aid agreement and a request for assistance from Wise County, Texas, who request aid from Denton County, Texas for use in operation of a mobile radio tower owned by Denton County for use in Wise County while upgrades are made to Wise County's permanent radio tower.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let me get some water here. Next is 14B. Is approval of a special PID municipal advisory agreement between Denton County, Texas and Samco Capital Markets Incorporated, Samco, to issue public improvement district bonds, PID bonds. And number two, in connection with authorization, issuance, sale, and delivery of such PID bonds, Samco will perform professional services in the capacity of PID bond advisor. For Denton County, 3, Samco agrees to provide all services related to the creation and implementation of PID bonds in return for Samco being entitled to the 2% fee of the par amount of each series of PID bonds issued for services performed paid at closing. And 4, Samco will bill Denton County at closing for each issue of obligation a net amount, which will include a fee calculated on the above schedule. 5, exempt contract from the requirement established by the Texas Local Government Code Section 262.023 under the discretionary exemption of the Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4. And 6, authorize the Denton County judge to sign the special PID municipal advisory agreement with Samco Capital Markets Incorporated.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14C. Is 1, approval of a letter of intent for underwriting services for special assessment bonds in G17 between Denton County, Texas and FMS Bonds Incorporated, whereby FMS is being engaged as an underwriter for Denton County for its forthcoming issuance of multiple special assessment bonds. And 2, the underwriter's primary role is to purchase of bonds with a view to distribution in the arm's length transaction with the issuer. As such, the underwriter has financial interests that differ from those of the issuer, Denton County. And 3, the underwriter has a duty to purchase the bonds from the issuer at a fair and reasonable price, and must balance that duty that duty with its duty to sell the bonds to investors at prices that are fair and reasonable. And 4, FMS will be compensated by a fee that will be set forth in each bond purchase agreement to be negotiated and entered into in connection with each issuance of bonds. And 5, exempt contract from the requirement established by the Texas Local Government Code Section 262.023 under the discretionary exemption in Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4. And 6, authorize the Denton County judge to sign the letter of intent for underwriting services for special assessment bonds in G17 with FMS Bonds Incorporated. Any appropriate action? Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approval of a resolution by the Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, authorizing the creation of the Green Meadows Public Improvement District located in Denton County Commissioner Precinct 1 in accordance with Chapter 372 of the Texas Local Government Code.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14E, approval of a resolution by the Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, authorizing the creation of Tabor Ranch Public Improvement District located in Denton County Commissioner Precinct 4 in accordance with Chapter 372 of the Texas Local Government Code. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson. The chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to item 17. This is local updates from Commissioners Court members. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
Thank you, Judge. I just would ask that all the citizens pray for all of our fellow citizens out in West Texas.
Perfect.
That's all I've
Thank
got
you.
today.
Thank you. Commissioner Falconer?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Well, just a reminder, it's election day, and just prayers for all those candidates. And if you haven't voted, get out. You have to go to your precinct voting location. You can't go to the ones you might have done early voting. So make sure you know where that is. You can go to our elections page, and it can show you where to go. A couple of things happening. Carrollton's got All About Nature Play at the Elm Fork Nature Center, and that's going to be the 7th and 12th at 10 a.m. And then Sounds on the Square at the downtown Carrollton Square, and that's going to be the 8th and the 22nd at 5 p.m. And then we've got Little Elm. The Cove is turning 3 luau. So that is at the Cove at the lakefront, March 9th at 10 a.m. Ryan, there'll be hula dancers there. And then
I don't want to see
you
you out there.
represent some of Little Elm.
I do, but that doesn't mean I can hula dance. I'm not a hula dancer.
Oh, I thought you would be one of
He's
those.
more of a hula hoop.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
The hula.
Judge, thank you for that.
well, there's
I'll
also
take it.
there's also a limbo contest. I'd love to see you do that
I
one.
can't do that either.
And then we have
Not my specialty.
Shady Shores. We have Movie in the Gardens, the Giant Gila Monster, and that is March 8th at 6 p.m. And that is 101 Shady Shores Road. And then in the Colony, we continue to have the income tax preparation help at the Colony Public Library. That's all I've got.
Commissioner Mitchell?
We have the Flower Mound Market place at Parker Square on every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And these are some updates that may happen in the future. Twin Coves Park Open House, prepare yourself for that, is March 16th. And the annual Father-Daughter Prom, March 16th at the Courtyard Way in Flower Mound, Marriott. In Louisville, Castle Hill Village Shop, every Saturday, 9 to 1. Vita Income Tax Preparation, March 7th, 4 to 6:30, March 9th, 9:30 to 1 p.m. at the Louisville Library. And the AARP Tax Aid, March 11th, it's at the library also, March 11th, 18th, and 25th. We're going to have a grand opening for the Hedrick House in Louisville. It was originally designed by O'Neill Ford and has been restored to its mid-century design. We'll have a ribbon cutting there.
When is that?
It's on March 7th, 12 to 7. Second Saturday Bird Walk, March the 9th. Kevin can do the Bird Walk ride since
Yeah,
you got to
okay,
do the
good.
hula.
I'll be there to watch.
River Curl Cleanup, March 9th, 10 a.m. at Jones Street at Layla. We're going to have a spring festival at Thrive. Bring in the spring season at this family-friendly event on March 9th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And prepare for breakfast with the Easter Bunny. It's going to be March 16th, but get your bunny costume ready, get your Easter eggs ready, and come on out and let's have fun.
Yes, let's do.
That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Commissioner Edmondson?
First, I'd like to announce something that's in conjunction with a group we recognize today. Remember, we had the Red Cross here, and it was mentioned that they do blood drives, which is very important. We're actually having a Carter Blood Care blood drive in Hazlitt on March the 8th. So that's something we can take advantage of share our life-giving substance to help someone else. In Denton, this is pretty exciting. We're going to have a golf social, and that means you can come out and learn the game of golf and meet new friends. I have taken golf lessons 3 times. I have never completed the course. And so therefore, I'm not included in any of these golf things. But, and then Bobby has named a lot of the things that are going on in Flower Mound. So this is a special week, though, because this is the day to go vote. And I expect every one of the citizens in Precinct 4 to be out voting today if they haven't already voted. And I'm sure they're all going to vote correctly. So thank you all, and we'll all have a good week.
Perfect, great. Thank you, thank you. All right, before we go to executive session, I want to say hi to our new employee, Ryan, is with us today. He's in the building, so he's up at our health department. Ryan, good to see you. All right, let's go to item 15A. We've got 4 items for executive session. Item 15A, under Texas Government Code 5510711A, consultation with attorney in a closed meeting when the governmental body seeks the advice of its attorney about contemplated litigation regarding a Denton County claim against O'Haver Contractors. 15B is Texas Government Code 5510711A, consultation with attorney in a closed meeting when the governmental body seeks the advice of its attorney about a settlement offer in cause number D1GN1600370 regarding Volkswagen Clean Diesel litigation TCA enforcement cases pending in the 353rd Judicial District Court of Travis County, Texas. 15C is Texas Government Code 5510711A, consultation with attorney in a closed meeting with a governmental body seeks the advice with attorney about a settlement offer regarding a claim by Antoinette Vicks. And 15D, Texas Government Code 5510745A1, personal matters affecting the county advisory body in closed meeting deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body to wit the Child Protective Services Board and any appropriate action. And it is 10:18, and we are in executive session.